There we are. Hi, today is Thursday, August the 22nd. I would like to give you a little bit of the update. We all know, well, maybe not all of us, but we know that the presidents of the church are in town on business. So that's all I'm going to say about that. In regards to seeing me, the presidents of the church have been threatened at gunpoint by three members of the staff at Castle Fire, Toronto. I'm not going to mention their names, just because I've been asked not to mention their names this time. You can only speculate as to who they are. It's also come to my attention that, as I've always stated before, that they have been fighting for me. Also, members of the staff and leadership who know me well have been fighting for me to get back into Castle Fire, Toronto, after Melinda Jeffries had assaulted me at the Sentlands conference and had in fact caused me to have a minor stroke at the Sentlands conference. I was in fact attended to by a Peel EMS, where my heart rate went down to 122/33 and then rose right back up again to 177/92, causing a stroke. I was asked to go to the hospital. I stated I didn't want to because I figured I would be at the hospital for hours and hours and hours and hours. So I went back to my hotel room. So as a result, I received a letter. No, I don't have the letter. I received a letter that stated from Natalie Gingrich and Zachary Lanu in regards to me leaving the church on October 18th. As they have been fighting, the presidents of the church have been fighting. It has been not solely one person. I will state that it has been more than one person, but there has been meetings, as of recent meeting, of the board of directors and the senior leaders and the presidents of the church. And Ash, I'm going to call her Bouvier because I'm going to get into that as before. Ash, the senior leader at Castle Fire Church, let me start. Okay. Ash has convinced everyone that I still live in St. Catharines and that I have been staying at a mental wellness facility and that I get out and that I'm allowed to go in, and that's how you see me walking around Mississauga or walking in downtown Toronto, or my Facebook posts where I used to give out food to the street people of downtown Toronto. I haven't since been allowed to because Jonas Rogato and Melinda Jeffries at Castle Fire Toronto has contacted the police. So that I was allowed out. That's what that is. I have some evidence to prove that, once again, she is wrong. She told everyone I am staying at a hotel in St. Catharines. This is called the Capri Inn, 391 Ontario Street, St. Catharines. This is my receipt from the Capri Inn. It is dated from November 30th to December 5th. In the amount of $704. So, that's where I was from November 30th to December 5th. From November 2nd, November 2nd to November the 6th. This is where I was. At the Cambria Suites Hotel in North Carolina. Morrisville, to be more exact. 15 minutes from the Raleigh International Airport. This is a receipt from there. You can see. $867 Canadian. This is my CIBC bank account. So, where did I go from there? I went to the Capri, and then I came here to Mississauga. Ash has stated that I'm still living in St. Catharines. This is a tenant referral from Jennifer Christine Roundtree, stating that Michelle Verhaeven has been a tenant for us for 3 years. We've received rent payment from Michelle Verhaeven from the Ontario Disability Support Program on time and in full. This is dated the 26th of July last year. So, as stated, I am here at 3401 Escada Drive. I'm actually awaiting the police. I've been waiting for Peel Regional Police since last Friday. I've contacted them because I've had problems with the owner, Fazal, and his son, who have been stealing my mail. Now this, as you know, when you rent an apartment or a room or anything, by laws in Ontario, you are to receive a residency tenant agreement. The individuals here, they're illiterate. They handed me this form, as well as there was a form, the intent to rent, that was given to the housing stability because they received a $900 check towards last month's rent. So this one is dated, there we go, January to February. I had to change it and initial it. This is weekly. I don't know if you can see if it's backwards. Yes, 7 days. It's a weekly amount, where it's $467 a week. So I have two, but every week he texts me the amount I owe, so it goes on a weekly basis. So, this is the last. He doesn't include how much I paid. I have screenshots, and it states August 8th to August 14th for 66 outstanding balance is $7,990 equals $848,465 dues. Please pay as soon as possible. So that's his every week. That and that could, because it's not written, it's text. It's fine. He didn't include the $1,000 that I gave him, but that's fine. That's still whatever. Okay. So, once again, I've been living here since. Actually, I came here on December 13th as a guest, and then what I did is I sent an intent to rent it was dated December 29th, so I paid from the 13th to the 15th right off as I landed here as a guest, and then I came into this room here, which is a storeroom. Not so bad. I'm not homeless. That's what people say if they think that. Excuse me. I'm not in crisis. I have food. Go grocery shopping. I'm a member of a community here. This is my library card. I love the library. People don't understand why I like the library. I like the library because it opens your mind to many books and many things. I actually, at Churchill Meadows Library down the street, I walk there, I hear from my Heavenly Father, I speak, I pray. I like walking there. I have in fact met many people here from different countries. I had an opportunity to bring a woman down there who was from Lebanon, to get her a library card and to get her son a library card so she could use the computer, so she could go to the new immigrant classes and get them involved in the community here. I also had a opportunity to bring a woman, and a Christian woman who I found out she knew Jesus as our Lord and Savior. Does that sound a little bit religious? Her and her daughter was here, who was 16. Both of them were here, single mama, from Trinidad and Tobago. She had to come in and get some information, documents, Canadian documents, and had an interview and things like that. So brought her down to Churchill Meadows Library over at Joan of Arc Secondary School down there on Thomas Street. I also had an opportunity to tell my friend Glendy Ordaz, where my friend from Mexico, where the library was. I don't know. She liked to walk. It was winter at that time, so she liked to walk. As well as my friends I made who were Ukrainian refugees here. Alexa and her husband, I don't know how to pronounce his name, from Odessa, Ukraine. They walked down to the library as well. So I've had lots of opportunities to introduce a lot of people to the library. I'm going to a literary festival at Hazel McCullough Library on September 14th to learn how to publish a book. Learn about that later. This is my passport. Why do I show my passport? Because Ash at one point had stated she heard that I was going back to North Carolina. This was around the conference, the time of the 30th anniversary revival conference. And Ash had stated, I want you, Melinda Jeffries, to go and find her and take her passport. I don't want her anywhere near that conference. Procuring a passport in Canada is a result of 15 years imprisonment. So, that's something that Ash could have been charged with, beyond the fact that we're stating defamation of character. She has constantly defamed my character since meeting me back in the Come Up Here conference. What has happened is that she said Sandra Long forced me upon her because Sandra Long had become the ambassadors. Her and Stephen were retiring. They were becoming ambassadors, retiring as senior leaders. And as a result of Stephen and Sandra retiring senior leaders, Sandra herself knew that I would need a senior leader in which could understand me. So Ash repeatedly stated that Sandra Long pushed me on her. The other situation that I wish to state, when Ash says I don't live here, or I don't live in Toronto or Mississauga, this is a document from, now I had a problem with my ODSP because when you have ODSP, it switches, right? I had a worker in Niagara because I was living in St. Catharines, and then I was going to move to Scarborough, so they switched, they moved it in a room in Scarborough. So they moved to the Malvern office in Markham, and then now it's at the St. Mississauga office, and I believe my caseworker's name is Sabrina or Claire. It was Priya, but now it's Sabrina or Claire. I don't know. It changes. So that's a T5. A T5 is used in order to do income taxes. This is my receipt for $41.80 at the H&R Block at 51 Air Mills Parkway. That's at the Air Mills Town Center, when they had their pop-up at the Air Mills Town Center, across from H&M, down by where H&M is. Those of you who go to the Air Mills Town Center, down where the Cineplex Junction is. This is from April 1st to April 30th, 2024. It is my CIBC account statement from the branch over at Air Mills Town Center, which, by the way, I think they're closing for renovations for the month of October. What I'm trying to prove here is for us to repeatedly state that I am someone who's living in St. Catharines, and who, in fact, is living in St. Catharines. How she's repeatedly stating this. We're now in May. mail from Mixon Public Storage, where I have all my things in storage. And by the way, they are safe. They're double locked, but they're safe. Anyways, no, they haven't been auctioned off. May 15th. Canadian Revenue Agency. The address is room 4, 3401 Escada Drive, Mississauga, Ontario, L5M0K1. May 28th. This is a registered letter from Mixon Storage. That is something that I have called the police on because they have a problem giving me my mail. I almost had my thing auctioned off because I was completely unaware of it. Now we're getting into July. Once again, this is from the Ontario government. This is most recently. This is July 31st, August. This is my U.S. bank account. That's CIBC. I have a U.S. bank account I opened mostly because I wanted to set up for my tithe for Catch the Fire Rally because I'm a member of Catch the Fire Rally and I've been tithing to Rally since March. I've been doing it through debit, and it cost me an extra 73 cents Canadian. So I just thought maybe setting it up with an American bank account would work. They don't have CIBC US listed. They have bank from different other banks. That's from Connect Hearing for my hearing aids. And then these are my pay stubs from KGS. Last one, August 10th. So, for someone who isn't living in Mississauga, I'm certainly doing a lot in Mississauga and the GTA. I have built a community of the library. Once again, people in this neighborhood, they know me, they see me. They may not like me here, but that doesn't matter. What they did is they made a mistake, a very grave mistake, and they're realizing that now. For someone who is living in Mississauga and who is repeatedly going out, working, going to the mall, going to Square One. Yes, I do like Chick-fil-A. I find it a lot. I like it. I tried it. Now, let's get into the fact why Ash is the way she is. First of all, me and Murray were companions for 6 months. From January to July of last year. Ash and Murray divorced. Obviously, when people know about it in the office, people know about it. I mean, it's not something now whether or not he should be standing up in front of the congregation and saying, these are my divorce papers. Michelle Verhaven's name is on it for irreconcilable differences. Because I always told Murray, I said, Murray, you have to, in our relation, at that point, I said, you need to get a divorce from this woman. Ash is vindictive. She's abusive. She's abusive to him, and she's abusive to Sarah, and she's abusive to Lucy. The other two daughters I'm not aware of. Hope and Alyssa, I'm not really aware of them, but Lucy and Sarah I do know. She's been physically abusive, she's been manipulative, she's been emotionally abusive, she's been physically abusive to Sarah, physically abusive to Lucy. Not only has she been physically abusive and have defamed Lucy and Sarah's character and maligned their character from here to North Carolina because of things, and yes, they're kids. I'm going to say kids, they're not kids, they're young adults. Lucy has made mistakes in her life, but man, has she ever moved forward, and am I ever proud of this woman. This young woman has gone from a situation in her life where Ash is constantly defaming her character, to becoming an asset to the community in which she lives in, to earning a degree in teaching and having a class. And you want to know something? Any woman, young woman who's come from what she come from and has had a mother like Ash constantly malign her, defame her character, and speak against her, and go as far as she has, and is in going to the kingdom and has a predestiny and is ordained. Lucy, good for her. Sarah, we all know Sarah. I went to the school of ministry. Sarah's had her problems, but you want to know something? Just like with any other young woman, she is moving forward. She's in North Carolina. She's got a job. I'm very proud of her. At one point she was I believe she's still at the University of North Carolina. I'm not quite certain if she's going back in September or if she's changing over to another school. She's obtaining schooling and she's moving forward. Lucy and Sarah Smith do not want to see their mother. Every time that came in, at one point, Ash had Melinda Jeffries walk Sarah Smith off the property because she had called her a methadone addict and said she was a danger to a community. Now, let's talk about that. Let's talk about Ash's obsession with calling people methadone addicts with his calling. Ash contacted my biological family not once, not twice, but 3 times. 4. Spoke to my biological family and said that I was a methadone addict, that I was a danger to the community, and that I was a mental patient. Now, I think I've spoken before about this. There is no evidence that that I myself have smoked, done. I don't know what you do with methadone. Do you smoke it? Do you drink it? Do you take it like marijuana? I know marijuana. You roll that. Yes, I used to smoke marijuana. Everybody used to smoke marijuana, for crying out loud. It's now illegal in this country. So, there we go. As for being a mental patient, someone who is a member of a community who has come in from North Carolina with her suitcases in her hands, stayed at someone's house for a month, got scammed out of $1,000 for an apartment in Etobicoke by Melinda Jeffries, because I know this to be true. The names I'm giving you is because Constable Samuel Bacon took all of the information at the Niagara Regional Police, and that's who he has been. That's what they have been. What do you call it? Investigating. Thank you. Investigating. After being scammed out of an apartment in Etobicoke for December 1st, coming here, spending some time in the motel, coming here, staying here, rebuilding my life, earning a paycheck, getting a job. This isn't an application. This is a hard copy of a registration that was sent to the Human Resources at KGS. Having individuals like Melinda Jeffries and Jonathan Sugato follow me, stalk me, and try to ruin that job. I'm actually in the process. I have not yet formally been released, so I am still part of that job. They've sent me shift schedules. I'm in the process of speaking with Human Resources and trying to get that back in shape. So, Ash, this once again is a document of an assessment stating that I do not have any kind of preconditioning mental issue. Ash has decided to be vindictive. I had a job at Sunshine Child Care last summer. I received a job. This is for my Sunshine Child Care. This is my immunization form. This is a form from them with a filled in with a doctor's stamp and everything. Ash goes around stating that I have doctored everything. Well, you cannot doctor a doctor's stamp. Maybe you can. I'm fully unaware they can. This is no one who has a mental issue or a pre-existing mental issue, like Ash has stated, will receive a vulnerable sector police check. This is a police seal from the Niagara Regional Police. This is dated last year in September. September? What's the 9th of the month? Is that September? That's September. September. Asha stated that she wanted me out of the church in July after learning about my companionship with Murray. Ash has also stated that she called the director over at Sunshine Daycare and to have my job taken away from me. So we have a senior leader of a church who says yes, maybe she can come back in. I want to go over and see where she's living after calling her family members, after calling her a methadone addict, and after defaming my character, trying to procure my passport and defame my character. And as well, she's being vindictive, actually. So instead of addressing the issue of these postings and addressing the issue of the rise of Satanism in her church, Catch Fire Toronto, she has decided to, in her infinite wisdom, New Life Beginning, or New Beginning Life Fellowship, or whatever she stated that, and I don't know if I said this before, I'm just using this as an example of Ash's way that she wants to own the church, and what she wants to do is going to cost, or would have essentially cost Catch Fire Toronto millions of dollars. You see, I don't have a problem. Yes, the Catch the Fire Toronto logo, the Catch the Fire Toronto name, the Catch the Fire every School of Ministry name, the International Leadership School, the Leadership School of Toronto, badges, seats, chairs, fresh wind, fresh kids camp, Atwell Cafe, the signs, the tithing envelopes, everything down to the pens, the bookstore, the books, the welcome center, everything is a property of Catch the Fire World. They have the CRA, Canadian Revenue Agency, and you have to register every single church, every single nonprofit organization which a church qualifies under with the CRA and receive a registration number of a nonprofit organization, as well as a number for your income taxes. When you receive, if you are a member of Catch Fire Toronto, when you receive your document that you get in the mail, when you receive the document that you get in the mail from the finance department, there's a little number. That's their income tax number. So when you file your income taxes, you have the number to file, and that's what they do when they file their income taxes. On my income taxes, my amount was, I believe, when I submitted it was $20, and so they use that income tax number in order to file it with the CRA. Any accountant. Murray's an accountant. Murray Smith has his education in accounting, so he was an accountant, so he would know this. Ash has repeatedly stated things in regards about me, my situations, because of her vindictive behavior, because of what she thinks and what she knows. All she knows is that her husband is no longer in love with her. I'm not speaking anything out of school, that nobody in that church does not realize, that nobody in that church, except maybe Lou, has heard rumors about. He is not in love with her, that he was my companion, and that Ash is vindictive against me. Ash has gone so far as to my friend Gail, my former friend Gail, and I'll say former because Gail decided to end the relationship. Gail was sitting in her vehicle. Ash saw her. Gail was doing something in her vehicle. Ash wanted her removed from the property because she thought she was doing some sort of drugs. Gail's an elderly woman. She doesn't smoke drugs. She was my friend. Gail had to go and get some documentation. Ash or Melinda, somebody may have looked at that documentation, so it doesn't. So what they're doing essentially is the laws. I was walked off the property because Ash didn't want me on the property for trespassing. There are laws in this country, there are laws in this province that the president of the church has been trying to speak again through get it through her mind, that the Trespassers Act of Ontario is Section 3. You have to have, and I'm just using this as an example, signs posted all over. There would have had to have been 15 signs stating that Michelle Verhaeven, or anyone for that matter, cannot stand next to a senior leader during such time as a conference or when there's whatever. Excuse me. She is taking into her own hands, and she is costing that church hundreds of millions of thousands of dollars. Had they gone forward with New Life Beginning Fellowship, forgive me if I say the name wrong, they would have been in a lawsuit like you would not have believed, because every single thing, right down to that carpet, right down to the roof, right down, she would have had to get permits, she would have had to buy the property, they would have had to literally buy them out. And why did she do it? Because she did not want me back in the church. One person. This is something that has gone forward. This is something that Ash has had a pattern of. 6 other people were released from the church because Ash did not want them in the church, because they had looked at Murray the wrong way, because for whatever reason Ash didn't like them. So she had Melinda Jeffries and Natalie Gingrich make up a letter, draw up a letter, and mail it to them. 6 other people because of Ash's vindictive behavior. So she can come into the church. Michelle Verhaeven can come into the church. She can sit at the back, where the reason why, there are 2 reasons why I sit up at the front where I sit. I usually sit second seat on the far left behind that big huge camera. One reason was, first and foremost, because of my hearing, which is being healed. Secondly, because of my sight. That's why. Okay, and third, because Murray, at one point, when I came back after COVID, after a year, but even during COVID, I sat right up front when I registered, and because of Duncan, okay, he sat in that seat. So let's be honest, he sat in that seat, so I sat in that seat. That's my seat. Okay, irregardless. So she wants to sit me at the back. She wants to surround me with security people, which in actuality, because I'm still being threatened by members of the staff who are still members of the staff when I go out, maybe it might be a good thing. But reality is, she doesn't want me up there. She doesn't want me seen. She wants to go as far as to tell me what to wear. Ash detests what I wear. I wear what is required. And when I say required, that sounds really dumb. I wear what Murray wanted me to wear. If you would have known last year when I was at the church, Murray wore a blue shirt. I wore a blue shirt. It's what we wear. When you were a companion, when I was a companion to Murray, that's what I did. I'm a companion to Duncan, that's what I do. Any other companions do. There are certain things that you will see, that notice of companions, that they wear. This is a significant. It's because this is my necklace. I wore it when I left Morrisville, and I have not taken it off, except to oil it. Certain companions will have their certain... No, I'm not. Certain companions will have certain companions wear things. I wore the ring on my right hand because of Murray. Now I wear it on my right hand in here to protect me because of men coming into this house. That's why. The minute I go out, what I do is I put it on this hand. Because if it was still on this hand, it would mean that me and Marie are still companions. Sorry, my fingers are sweating. And we're not. We're not. At all. I think what needs to be addressed is that when Ash speaks about me, or if you ask about me to Ash, all Ash is going to say is lies. So, that's that. I also want to speak about the Beige and Black campaign that's going on. I'm going to continue on with it until betting or raping schedules are eradicated in every single Catch Fire church in Toronto, or Catch Fire church in the world. And also praying that Zachary Lanoux, Melinda Jeffries, John Fisgato, and anyone else, those three in particular, and I say those three because they are heavily involved in Satanism and criminal activity and have made my life, have threatened me with guns, have threatened me, and please know it's under investigation now, so that's good. Anyway, so the Beige and Black campaign is going to go strong. If you wish to. Now, I understand that Ash has threatened, got to every Connect group and threatened and said that it was illegal. I don't want you to speak to Michelle if you see her out in the open. She's a danger to the community. She's a mental patient. She's a methadone addict. She's peddling. That's her name. That's her word, peddling. She can't even say the word right. Or she's involved in methadonism. Methadone isn't ism. You're a drug addict. You're a crystal methadone addict. They're known as meth addicts. That's what they are. The reason why I'm so knowledgeable about this is because I've had to be. I've had to be knowledgeable. People like Lisa and Greg Satchel, Melinda Jeffries, Zachary Lanoux, all of them that are involved in their satanic organization have made my life a living hell. I'm going to say something for those who know. And if you don't know, and you don't know, and if you're speculating, don't speculate. There was a prophetic word about a woman in Niagara who would be hunted by members of the Satanic Church. There was a prophetic word about a woman who had Catherine Coleman's spirit put in her. And those who know this, know this. The prophetic word about this woman's spirit, about this woman being hunted because of her supernatural capabilities. The prophetic word is true. Those who know. Because of what the prophetic word has stated, I'm her. I'm known as the lioness that will lead a new generation into a revival. And I've been hunted by members of the Satanic Church to annihilate me. I wasn't supposed to make it out of Niagara alive. I wasn't supposed to come back from North Carolina. They say I'll be lucky to make it, be alive by next week. That is what their goal is. So, if you know the prophetic word, and you were wondering about the one who was hunted and came out of Niagara, I am the lioness. And I have the harvest that has been planted in me last year. to lead a new generation into a revival. I have a sermon. I have a PowerPoint. I guess that's the beginning. So, if Ash is continuously saying I live in St. Catharines, I don't. I live in Mississauga, and I hope to move to Etobicoke. I'll be moving to the Sandman Hotel with Melanie Regato. Melanie Regato and I are beginning a new season in our relationship. Melanie Regato and Melanie, I'm so proud of her. She's moving forward. That's all I'm going to say. I'll allow her to tell the rest. But as the companion to Duncan Smith, as a former companion to Murray Smith, as someone who is a radical on a campaign to eradicate beatings and to expose the truth about rapings from Zachary Lanoux and Melinda Jeffries and Jonas Regato as the youth, or as the young adults, or as the children of Gashfire Toronto. I have the full support of the presidents of the church, and I have full support of other members of Gashfire's leadership. So, there it is. I hope to see you back in Gashfire soon. Ash is saying November now. Who knows? Thanks.